we need to make more money with the money we have. And I've always been interested in real estate. As I was learning more and more about it, there were some circumstances coming up where in our family we needed another house or two. Once you start along that path, you become more empowered. And even before you get that first property, you just start calling yourself a real estate investor. I want to keep going. I want to see if I can do it a little easier. I know it's going to be challenging. Each property will be different, but I want to do it again.
Today, we have a very special guest. His name is Scott Kelly, and Scott happens to be one of our students in our Real Estate Nova program. And now he happens to be a real estate investor as well. So I decided to invite Scott to come over so he can share his story in this channel and prove to you that when you set your mind, your heart, and soul into something, you can make it happen regardless of your financial situation. So without further ado, let's go ahead and welcome Scott.
Thank you for having me. How are you, Cecilia?
I'm doing great. Thank you for joining us. So everybody, as I was mentioning in the intro, Scott is one of our students in our Real Estate Nova program, and he is now a real estate investor. So today we are going to take some time to get to know him and show you that his story has a lot more to do with you than you thought. So Scott, tell me, what made you want to go into real estate?
Well, I was looking for a way. We all have our 401ks and our savings and maybe an IRA, and we're working so hard to plan for the future. And I just felt like, I've gotten to a level and I'm a registered nurse in over 20 years. And my wife and I, we've been saving and doing all the right things, but I just felt like, we're missing something now. We need to make more money with the money we have. And I've always been interested in real estate and the advantages of being a property owner. And I've always admired people that were able to accumulate properties and all those advantages that go along with it. But I just never really knew quite how they were doing it. So I've always over the years tried to figure out on my own how they were doing it and what was the big mystery behind it all. So really I wanted to make more money with the money that I had, and all the things that I looked at, seeing what real estate just seemed to be the best fit.
So real estate was the best fit for you. It seems like you're trying to improve the financial situation of your future. So you had some savings, you had some investments with your retirement plan, but you didn't seem to be satisfied with it. So aside from saving more and living a comfortable retirement, was there any other problems that you were trying to resolve through real estate?
Well, I wanted to help my family. We all have family members that struggle at times, and I know some of the in this time in the American economy, for some reason or for different reasons, it's difficult for young people to get a house. And I've been trying to find a way to where I can help some of the young people in my family qualify, and looking for properties for them. And I thought, well, if I can help them, I can help me. And I need to be educated and figure out what's going on and what are our options, and kind of pull them up. And at the same time, I'm pulling myself up.
So would you say that in helping your family, that was also a learning journey for you? Like, how did that go? Like, did you educate yourself first and then you helped them, or was it vice versa? How was the engagement like?
Well, it was a little, it's just how life kind of goes. As I was learning more and more about it, there were some circumstances coming up where in our family we needed another house or two. As we were expanding, and it just kind of went hand in hand. The more I was learning, I was more able to figure out how maybe do a refinance on a property for somebody, or to try to help them get ahead or figure out a better options on where they were at. And so as I learned, I was able to help them. And I thought, well, there's just, really no limits to this. And so basically that, yeah, I mean, it's kind of gone hand in hand. Of course, obviously I want to, help my wife and myself. I mean, to maybe not have to work so much and so hard and so long.
So you were looking to have a comfortable retirement, and then along those lines, help family whenever it was possible. So you found yourself learning, and then through that learning, you were sharing some tips with them to help push your family ahead. So it seems like it was kind of like a package deal, because as you were growing, it seems that you were one way or the other helping your family grow with you. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think that's a great way to say it. Yes.
And so you went on a quest and you started, learning. You did mention earlier that you were looking at different YouTube channels and information online that you thought that you could do it on your own. But then eventually you realized that that wasn't the case. So can you share with us a little bit about how you came to that realization? Because there is a lot of free information out there on YouTube.
Right. Well, we're also, our time is so limited. I mean, we work 40, 50 hours a week, and then, you're taking care of the house and shopping and laundry, and you just hard. We're also covered up with things. And as I was trying to still educate myself on YouTube and books, etc., I came across, I started enjoying your videos. And one that really struck me was how to be a real estate investor and work full time. And that's how you did it. And I thought, well, that just, that's me. I have to work, but I still want to try to do both. So, I mean, that's what really pulled me towards Novarize.
So let me see. You were looking to do both simultaneously. And so you came across my video. I'm assuming that maybe before that you knew it was possible, but you didn't know how to do it. Now that you have done it, would you say it's simpler than you thought it was, or is it manageable, or is it like so bad that people shouldn't try it? Like, how was your experience like?
Well, first, that you need to be educated. You really need to immerse yourself in the education part of the plan, and that's what Novarize gave me initially. It was, the course was wonderful, very intense. It's a lot of, you got to work, but it's going to take you, a few months to get through it at the best, maybe longer. And but as you go, you gain more confidence in learning the information, and you become part of the community of Novarize. You have meetings, you talk to other people going through the same thing, and it prompts you. It kind of makes you accountable. You might want to take the weekend off, but no, you have a Zoom meeting or something that's going to prompt you to keep pushing. And even if you might just learn one little thing that weekend by listening to a meeting, whereas you'd have just maybe taken that weekend off. So it pushes you a little bit more, and it makes you more accountable when you become a part of the Novarize community.
So would you say that having a community helps you propel yourself, right? Because I'm assuming, and I think the reason why I'm bringing this up is because we talked about this years ago when we first met. It's hard to find somebody within your circle that is trying to achieve what you're trying to do, right? And so sometimes you have all these ideas and you're eager to make it happen, but then sometimes within your environment, people are not on your page, and that's can sometimes be a bit discouraging, and it makes you, oh, maybe I'm just dreaming too much, or maybe, well, they're right, and so it becomes kind of like a dream killer type of thing if you hang out with the wrong community. But when you came to us, you saw that there were other people like you who were trying to achieve the same thing and then were making it happen.
That's a very good point, because I'm here. I'm talking on with people at work or other family members or friends about, I'm looking at this house, I want to do this, or this kind of, you kind of tell they're a little bit interested, but not that much. And but when you get with like-minded people, it empowers you and keeps you to stay on the path of what you want to do.
Right, right. You mentioned you came across my videos, but there's still a ton of other videos, right? What made you really want to join us and this community in Nova Rise?
Well, like I said, the part where you mentioned that you did it, you were working full time, and you had even another video where you had showed your setup where you had your little fax machine and your office and all the routines that you had, and at the same time you were working full time, and and that's where most of us are at. Is that and you also preached about if you have a good job, keep it, and because and that just really resonated with me. That was really the main thing that kind of pulled me in. And then after that, just saw the great content that you had and still continue to have. And you have so many good videos that it was just once you got me with the working part full time, and some of the stories about how you lifted your family up initially, and that's how it propelled you to keep going.
Yeah, I guess bottom line, we all have to have a why. And so that's why I initially started the interview with that same question, because it seems that your why, aside from living a comfortable retirement with your wife, was also to bring up family, right? Because what's the point of having all that money if you don't have anybody else to enjoy it with?
Exactly.
So it's a great thing that you're choosing to share your knowledge as well with other people, because you generally want to see them do well. So Scott, it seems like you have had quite a journey. I mean, and the reason why I mention it is because I know you've been sharing all along your ups and downs with me. So if you, let's say, if you were to look back for the past 12 months, right? I'm sure you've seen, a lot of changes from you, a lot of evolution. How much or what would you want to share with the audience in terms of like the changes, like the way you used to look at things before that, maybe were not the most beneficial for you, and now you see things with a different lens. Would you want to share some of that with all of us today?
Sure. Well, it gave me when I became a part of Nova Rise, it gave me a direction. It kind of validated a lot of the things that I was already considering about being a real estate investor, and the path was, first become educated, um, have a mentor, um, and those type of things, and it gives you, once you get start along that path, you become more empowered. And even before you get that first property, you just start calling yourself a real estate investor. And this is part of the deal, is getting the no's and getting the rejections, and learning and trying to get a team together. But at the same time, you are a real estate investor, even if you don't have the first property yet. And that's what I gave me the mindset that this is part of the process. And then I actually uh, got my first property. So it's been great. We had the COVID setback, but we just kept right on going. And now the interest rates are lower, and we're just and which is a wonderful thing. So it's just been a great journey. And 12 months ago, I was a different person. I didn't really call myself a real estate investor, but now I am.
That's excellent. That's excellent. So, and now that you are a real estate investor, well, you were before, even if you didn't have a property, the fact that you were doing the market research, getting the work done, talking to your power team, and looking for that ideal investment, because we can see thousands of houses, but only very few of them are going to match your investment criteria. So I know you've looked at a lot of houses. Some of them were really beautiful, some of them were really ugly, but then in the end you found the one. So after all the ups and downs, how do you feel right now? I know you mentioned you feel great, but like there's something about that, the sense of accomplishment that it's hard for people to explain. Like everybody I talk to, there's a different meaning of it because you did work really hard, especially during COVID, because you're a registered nurse, you're pulling 40, 50 hours. Last year was crazy
Mm.
and you still made it happen. So how do you feel right now? Like walk me through that sense of accomplishment that you feel right now in calling yourself, hey, I am a real estate investor. I have my property and I'm collecting rent and I'm going for more.
Well, really, first thing I would say is I want to do it again. I want to keep going. I want to see if I can do it a little easier. I know it's going to be challenging. Each property will be different, but yeah, I want to do it again because it was a great sense of, it gives you a sense of accomplishment, and it's like, wow, I really did it. And I'm so glad that I was able to get help from you, and you've saved me a couple times on some on just the advice that you've given me, that saved me from taking some wrong turns, and so where I'm at right now is I'm excited. I'm a little tired. It was a tough going through that loan qualification and things like that, and but I learned so much, and I'll know what to expect next time. So I'm ready for that next time, and I'm already looking for hopefully do something very soon. I'm working with to get my business credit going, and try to do it that way. I did it the commercial or the conventional way, but yeah, I want to do it again.
That's awesome. So the reward makes it all worth it. And every time you go through ups and downs, there's always a lessons learned at the end of it that it will help you do it better the next time. So Scott, thank you so much for sharing that. Now, for those who are tuning in today, if you were to sit down or get to know them or mentor them or give them a piece of advice, what would you give them? What would you say to them? Let's say they want to go through the real estate route, but maybe they were in a similar situation. They were in the wrong community. They want to pull the trigger, but they're not sure because they have a couple of Debbie Downers around them telling them, "Hey, no, don't get scammed." I'm sure before you invested in the program, you were also very scared, but then you still decided to go through with it. So, what advice would you give those who are waiting for, like wanting to do it, but that they're just so scared to do it?
Well, I was the same way. I was very skeptical, with programs you hear of, you know, um, high price gurus and that type of thing. So I was very leery about that. I didn't want to do that. But like I said, I felt a connection with you through listening to you and your story. And at some point, you got to go for it. We go and we'll go on a vacation and spend money, or we'll buy a car and do all these things. But you need to spend some money on yourself and your education. And I decided, I'm just going to go for it. And I'm so proud that I did, because I always, in the back of my mind, I had a feeling maybe I was going to have to pay something each month or pay another big fee along down the line, but you never did. It was a one-time thing. I'm still with the program. I'm still on the website. I still talk to you all the time. And I only had that one entry fee, and it's been worth it several times over, just from the stuff you told me not to buy. And you really do need the education. You do need the mentorship, and you do need the community. So it really empowers you. And for myself, I'm really glad that I did it.
Thank you, Scott. We're very proud of you as well. Like you've come a long way, and we seen all the ups and downs. I remember when you got the very first deal, you were very excited, and I was just like, "Gee, how do I tell him that that's not a good deal?"
Yeah, I remember, and I thank you for that. Um, so yeah, just at some point, you just, especially if maybe the folks in their 50s or so, and are looking for a different way to expand upon what they've already done and have some guidance. I mean, this has been a great program for me. The Nova Rise has been a great experience, and I'm looking forward to what else we can get done.
And I'm sure you're gonna get done a lot more because you're going for it, and now you're one step more confident than the person you were 12 months ago. And yeah, I'm sure you're learning a lot.
Yeah, I appreciate you, and thank you so much for having me here today. I've been looking forward to talking to those of you out there about Nova Rise.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you so much. And there you go. You have it. So that's Scott Kelly's story. As you can see, it's just like any other person out there. He didn't come from a family with good money. He works a lot, just like all of you do. And he still managed to find time to make everything happen. And he made it happen, and he's going for more. So for those who are actually interested in finding out more about the Real Estate Nova program, here's a link right here on the screen that you can go ahead and check out. All you got to do is just to simply click on it and pick the time and day where you can get access to a free training, and that free training will give you an idea of what our program is about. And hopefully we'll get to see you at the webinar. And once again, Scott, thank you so much. Take care, everybody.